Alright guys, so I wasn't going to do a standalone video on this, partly because you guys have already seen really kind of a tune-up and basically service of one of these. I believe I serviced this. In fact, I know I did when I first got it, and I did a multitude of videos on that, but right now I'm changing out the drive belt finally. And I'll show you guys what I have to do. It was very similar to the L110. Basically, you just got to take that 10mm bolt off right there and lift this bracket up, so that gets you access to the top of the belt. And then now that you have access to the top of the belt, you can pull that off the transmission. You have to undo the steering gear, and that's a 19mm, I believe. You just pull that off, stick the steering column up, because as you can see, here's the column, shaft, and then the belt. So in order to get the belt off, you have to do that. And then I took the front belt guard off. There's just 2 bolts holding that on, no big deal. And that'll allow us to get the belt off the front end of the tractor. And so now I just have to pull one of these little pulleys off and should be able to get to her from there. But I'm not going to show that on camera. There's really no need to. It's really simple. I don't know what else to say. But here's the deck. So as you guys might remember, those of you who have been subscribed to my channel long enough, these blades were brand new when I put them on. Believe it or not, they were brand new. And with all the coarse weedage and grass that we get out here, it does a number on the deck. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is more than likely just replacing the blades, because they are pretty well worn. You guys can kind of see what I'm talking about here. The ends of these blades are in pretty gnarly condition. I might be able to save them, but you know, at the rate they're going, these blades will be pretty well done halfway through the season, and then I'll have to pull the deck off again and change the blades out, which I guess wouldn't be a horrible thing, all things considered. The kicker is I think some of these spindles need to be replaced. But as you guys can see, the underside of the deck is really clean. There is some grass, you know, archaeological grass there, but you know, I tried to take the lawn tractor over to the hose and throw the hose underneath this thing and just, you know, clean it out completely. Just let it run for a few minutes with the blades going under the water, and it does a really good job, as you guys can clearly see it, cleaning out the underside. It's not perfect by any means, but it's better than leaving grass in there. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then see what other trouble we can get into. One thing I did want to mention before I finish this, but I got the belt put back in. Seems to be okay. Got the steering gear put back on as well. I think this was supposed to be flush. I don't know, I'll mess with that in a minute. But on the electronic clutch, you have this bracket right here that's only held on down here with a 10mm bolt. And you just take that off, and then you can kind of rotate it around, and you'll have to take that off to get the belt off and on. Unless you cut the old belt off, then you'll just have to take it off anyways to get the new one on, but really it's no big deal there. Now I'm just going to reinstall the belt guard, and we'll tip this thing back over onto all fours and see how she runs. Well, let's see how it drives. Come on. run and drive okay. One other thing I just did that I've been meaning to do for a long time is bypass this damn seat safety. Now there's really more than one way to skin a cat, and the easiest way around this would be to figure out which two wires that you could jump after you disconnect this from the seat, which this button is what attaches to the seat, and when you sit on it, it presses the button down, and it effectively lets you use your lawnmower. Now, you can kind of halfway work around that is if you just undo this plug from the back of your seat. That'll allow you to run the lawnmower around, but you won't be able to turn the deck on, because as soon as you do your electric PTO, it'll just cut the mower out. So the easiest way around that, sans trying to figure out which wire to bypass to which, just reconnect or pull your button out, reconnect it, and then just zip tie it down. So I just kind of have it in place here. Now this is not protected or shielded from corrosion in any way, so it's probably going to be a good idea to put a bag on it and then put a zip tie over the bag, and that should cover it enough. But I just did it like this just to see if the idea would work, and sure enough it did. That's what I've been dealing with this thing, just getting it ready for the mowing season. As far as the deck is concerned, the deck belt is okay. I'm probably not going to replace that just yet. It does have a couple wear marks on it, but nothing that's turned into a crack yet, so I could probably get another season out of this belt before I have to change it. But as far as the spindles are concerned and the blades, I know at least one of the spindles needs to be replaced. I don't know which one. They all probably do. This lawn tractor had been sitting for at least a few years before I got a hold of it. But, you know, it's kind of one of those things. I can get a partial rebuild kit, which includes 3 blades and 3 spindles, off of eBay for about $100. Separately, the spindles are about $30 a piece, or I could just replace all 3 blades to the total of $24. All this is coming from eBay. I try and do a lot of my shopping on eBay for that type of stuff. Amazon does get some of my business, but eBay, for stuff like that, there's usually a lot more of a selection on niche parts. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I might place that order tonight and get this done by next weekend or the weekend after. But we're getting pretty close to grass season, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. You all stay classy.